Is making wine out of prune juice ridiculous? Tune in to find out. Hi, welcome to 6 Cents Out of a Nickel. Today I'm going to show you how to make wine out of ordinary grocery store juice. And I have a little surprise at the end. And like with all good things, you're going to need some equipment to make this happen. First of all, we have the grocery store juice. Easy enough. Next we have a 4-liter carboy. Now this is kind of optional and I'll show you how in a second. Measuring cup for sugar. A bottle brush to clean the bottle out. And a hydrometer to show you, I don't know if you can see that, to measure how much alcohol you're going to end up making. A cork and an airlock, both readily accessible at a winemaking store. Regular sugar and household yeast. Now, before you actually do anything, you have to wash your hands, you have to sterilize all the equipment. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Now, the easiest way to sterilize your equipment is with water and bleach. We're just going to fill the sink with water. And usually like a capful or two of bleach would be enough. I don't usually measure, so I'm just pouring a little bit of bleach in. That's more than plenty. We'll just wait for the sink to fill up. That should be enough water. So then you take all of your pieces of equipment, you take apart the airlock, and you put it in the bleachy water. I'm going to make 2 batches today. Be very careful with that. It's glass, and it doesn't take bumps and bruises very well. So even put your bottle brush in there. And fill your jugs. And once you're done letting them sit for, I would say, 5 minutes, that should be plenty of time. Just scrub them out, and then you make sure all the surfaces are clean, and then you rinse them all off, making sure that all of the bleach is adequately rinsed off of there. You do not want the taste of bleach in your wine. And now that our equipment's all clean, it's time to start making wine. First we have our juice. Now if you don't have a 4-liter carboy and you don't want to actually buy one, they're about like 10 or 15 bucks a piece. What you can do is you can actually find a cork and airlock that will actually fit the top of the container, and just use the container straight up. You'll have to actually remove some because you notice it's pretty close to the top. You want to leave a little bit of room there for the air bubbles and whatnot to come out. But you can just use the container if that's a cheaper shortcut for you. Pour it in. 1. So now all the juice is in the carboy. Next thing, we add sugar. But how much sugar do we add? Well, let's see where we're at as far as the the amount of alcohol this would make just by itself. In order to do that, you drop this thing in. And it's hard to read, but it looks like if this were to just ferment the way it's sat, it would make 5% alcohol. So depending on whether you're happy with that or not, or you want to make a little bit more. I mean, if you're happy with it, you can drop the yeast in right away and just brew it as it sits. But we're going to add a little bit of sugar to it to increase the alcohol content. And that is 1 cup, pretty much on the nose. And we're going to add that. Now what you have to do is you have to mix it up so that the sugar dissolves in the juice. And that should do it. Very little left to do now. Just simply put your yeast in, which I'm just using a shot glass to measure out normal bread yeast. You can go to the wine stores and get corn sugar, and you can get special yeast specifically for making wine, but that's not really necessary. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. So now we're going to add the yeast. Now the fun part. We put together our airlock, which has the bottom piece that goes into the cork, like so. You have the piece that bobs up and down, the bob. And you have the lid, which has holes in it for the carbon dioxide to escape. And you'll see a line. It's on this one, it's right about here. I don't know how clearly that comes through. But you fill water up to that line, and that provides a bit of back pressure so that the carbon dioxide can escape, but regular air, when it's oxygenated, doesn't get in. We're going to fill it to the line now. And on to the carboy. Now you just let it sit. When you'll know it's working when it starts bubbling. Now I said there's going to be a surprise at the end. The juice we used in the first place was cranberry cherry. We're also going to use prune juice to make wine, just to prove you can make wine out of anything. And really, you can use anything. You can use pop, like Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper, Sprite. You can use peach juice. You can use anything you want, including prune juice. Now, if you notice, the prune juice doesn't quite fill it all the way up. So we're going to add a little bit of water. Repeating the process. We have to see how much alcohol it would make just simply on its own. About 7% it looks like. So it looks like that the prune juice is going to be at 7% just on its own. And seeing as that's a total experiment on my part, I'm not going to add any sugar at all to it. I'm just going to let it ferment just the way it is. So it's just a matter of adding some yeast, putting together the airlock, and the cork, and filling it up to the line. And that is how you make wine out of ordinary. That is how you make wine out of ordinary juices. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Until next time.